Hi, Guido Fox here. Welkom bij een nieuw book report. Today I want to talk with you about this masterpiece from Yogananda, the second coming of Christ, the resurrection of the Christ within you. The commentary on the original teachings of Jesus. It is really an insane book. It is nearly 800 pages, and this is only part one. I have another book, and that is part two. So in total, it's like 1600 pages of spiritual information where Yogananda is sharing his knowledge and is referring to the teachings of Jesus. So it is really deep, grounded work, 800 pages. And the other book is also 800 pages, so 1600 pages. I read for you, I summarized for you, and I hope you will enjoy this journey through this masterpiece from Yogananda. It's really insane if you can type 1600 pages of information, right? That is something you have to be really proud of yourself. The second coming of Christ is referring, of course, about his resurrection. As after the crucifying of Jesus, he was locked up his body in a rock, and then the body was sent to heaven. And this is, of course, a parable, a story, and spiritual meaning, a spiritual story that he was going to heaven and he was coming later back on earth in another form. And so the unenlightened being was coming back as an enlightened being on earth. So it is referring to the transformation of Jesus. And after his transformation, they called him Jesus Christ, because the Christ is meaning for an enlightened being. So Jesus was the normal person who were discovering the matrix. He was hurting the matrix by his appearance. The matrix were kicking him all the time, with ultimately the crucifixion. And there the last test was coming to him, the crucifixion, and he conquered this test, and he was going to heaven, and heaven back to earth in another form. So it was like a spiritual transformation here. Spiritual transformation you can reach as a person. That's the story of the second coming of Christ. And you can reach that too. You can also transform. You can also become awaked. You can also have a spiritual transformation in your body. You can also become a Christ. You can also feel Christ consciousness. And that is where he wrote about on page XX1, and that is fast Christ consciousness. You can reach fast Christ consciousness. And that is what the second title is about, is the resurrection of the Christ within you. So it's an inner awakening process, what you can reach with fully spiritual devotion and spiritual willpower and spiritual knowledge, you can go into the deepest spiritual personal development what you can reach on this planetary Earth. I'm not sure what you can reach on other planets, but here the most deepest ecstatic feelings, the deepest personal transformation you can reach on this earth is enlightenment. That is actually what it is. The deepest form of religion is a spiritual transformation towards enlightenment, and that your vast Christ consciousness in your body is growing. Your flowering, your Osho blossoming is growing in your body. That is creating vast Christ consciousness in your body system. The only begotten Son of God is referring to this consciousness, is referring to this inner awakening. It's not a personal bloodline God, Jesus, vertical family line. God is not a person, a man in the sky who is standing there and judge about you. God is your friend. God is an inner awakening, is a universal power who is your friend and supports you and helps you friendly on your way. So when Jesus was talking about the only begotten Son, he was referring to that inner child. He was referring to this inner awakening mechanism in the body. That's all about the only begotten Son. It's a spiritual, deeper layer than just the vertical so-called bloodline here. Man is so drunk with delusion. Page 21. You have two kinds of drunkenness in spirituality. You have three, I have to say. You have drunkenness because of alcohol. That is matrix drunkenness. Mostly there's addiction. Mostly the matrix drunkenness of alcohol is matrix implanted. So you're raised up with it, or your parents drunk alcohol, or your friends were drinking alcohol. So you go with the so-called flow, right? So you have alcoholic drunkenness that is temporarily feeling a little bit happier, but nothing compared with the spiritual drunkenness, the ecstaticness, long-term lasting happiness, drunkenness of an inner awakening child in your body. That is spiritual drunkenness. That's much more ecstatic than LSD. If you believe the words of Osho, I never took LSD, but I trust him. I trust Holy Osho that spiritual drunkenness is a much more higher form than the so-called drunkenness of an alcoholic event where you feel bad the next day. The next day you feel very bad from the matrix alcohol and you sleep very bad, very light. So the matrix alcohol is a temporary spike, is a temporary escape from your horrible dark world of delusion where you're in. You're in the delusional matrix form. You're in the delusional matrix. And that's the third drunk. You have spiritual drunk, matrix drunk, and the third one is that you were grown up in the matrix drunkenness of delusion. That is your whole sorrow world. That's the whole ego influenced matrix world where you are in. You're raising up your systems where you're in. All the stress, the sorrow, the darkness, the depressions, the bore outs, the burnouts, the fights, the arguing, the gossiping, the physical fights, the feeling of dangers, the addictions in your life, the tensions with other people, the constantly chattering mind, etc., 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 is your matrix delusion drunkenness. And it's up to you. It is up to you which kind of drunkenness you choose. Are you choose for the red pill or the black pill, or in this video the gold pill? Right? You want to become spiritual drunk. That's the highest reaches of your soul. To become spiritual drunk, that is amazing. That is wonderful. You want to become spiritual drunk. You sleep as a rose. The next day you have not a burden from the alcoholic event before. You're reaching much more ecstatic stages than the LSD. You're out of the matrix delusion. The highest form of drunk you want to reach. So you have the choice which one you want to have, what kind of drunkenness you want to experience in this life. Then you find on page 47 God mystery. You will find God realization. You have to grave for the Holy Grail. You have to go inside, search for a long, long time. You have to search your spiritual path, your struggling path against the evil in yourself. And you will find God mystery. God is a mystery. It's a secret son in your body. It's an inner child in your body. What's connected to the highly higher cosmic universal energy. So God is a mystery, and if you find a mystery, you'll find God realization. That is where Yogananda were telling about, the God realization. And then your brain cells changing. Your brains are gonna work on another way, on a more calm and relaxed and peaceful way. Your brain's becoming drunk too. Your cells, your atoms, where I talked with you in the last video, will be changing, and all your energetic mentally system is working from your God linus, from your inner line, from your crown chakra, awakenings the Sahasrara, and how your system works on another way. You become a high developed soul, a high developed being. You becoming an best version from yourself if you are calm down and meditate for years. The spirit will be templed. Page 109. Your spirit will be templed in your body. Templed spirit, the house of God, is a templed version. You create an inner temple. You create vast Christ consciousness in your body, where boredom as very destructive force in civilization, in society, like nervousness and boredom, all the bad thing is coming out of there, of civilization. Boredom and nervousness will disappear like the sun set down under an earth. You will experience calmness, a peaceful calmness in your body, where in every kind of situation you can go there. And boredom will be disappearing, nervousness will be disappearing, jealousy will be disappearing, depressive feelings will be disappearing. Fighting feelings will be disappearing. Arguing feelings will be disappearing. Competition feelings will be disappearing. And only ecstatic love for every human being on earth will be there. You will reach higher states of consciousness. You will feel it. You will feel it. And the destructive forces of your inner ego will disappear, will gone, will be dissolved. Page 158, you will be a liberated soul. You will be liberated from the matrix. You will be free in your outcome. You will be unshamed anymore. You will not living in despair anymore. You will not living in sorrow anymore. You will not living in fear anymore, because you can always go inside. You can always trust on that inner child, that inner only begotten son child in your body. If you're feeling that you will become a liberated soul, free from the matrix entanglements, free from the calibration levels where you were in. You're reaching higher stages of consciousness, what brings you only more and more ecstatic feelings. You were imprisoned in the matrix and you never experienced the ecstasy of meditation. You were part of mass karma. Mass karma 324. I really like that word. Mass karma. You were part of mass karma. You were part of the destruction of the matrix. The delusion, destructive forces of the matrix from years of evolution. You were part of that mass karma. And mass karma are gone. Because you're not here anymore. You're already in heaven. You're already on another planetary scale. You're already in another dimension. So we are growing above karma, and we let mass karma away. And we are freed. 464 page. Freed from the evil thoughts. Freed from your bad thoughts. Freed from your bad words. Your bad words and bad thoughts. You're free from the sorrow in your inner talks, the chattering, stressful, hurtful, competition-wise inner dialogues. You're freed from that. You're a real highly developed, liberated soul who can conquer the world very easily. You have God contact all the time, whatever you do. Page 708. You have God contact. Your karma is dissolved and you are become really present. Present in your actions. Present in your vibe. A present, active, glistering grace eyes person, full of intuition, feelings, and creative powers. When you find the source, you will be so creative. Creative to think about the matrix patterns, full with innovative powers. A creative force, an outer creative force, and an inner creative force. An inner creative force always go together with an outer creative force. You want to create something inside, create something outside. Thank you for watching this video, and I see you by part 2 of the second coming of Christ. Thank you.